It is 6:30 in the morning. Lower Manhattan is quiet. Commuters are just beginning to move. Traffic hums in the distance. Inside a federal detention center, two officers walk down a narrow concrete corridor. They are carrying breakfast trays. They approach cell 220. They unlock the door, and what they see will ignite one of the most debated custodial deaths in modern history. 35 days earlier, Jeffrey Epstein had been denied bail. He was supposed to stand trial. Instead, the trial would never begin. This is not a story about speculation. It is a story about procedure, about what should have happened and what did not. This is the second file. The Metropolitan Correctional Center, the MCC, sits in Lower Manhattan. Concrete exterior, narrow windows, little visibility from the street. It houses federal detainees awaiting trial. High-profile inmates are placed in segregated housing. Epstein was assigned to 10 South, the special housing unit. Restricted movement, increased observation, limited contact. Federal detention centers operate on routine. Counts are conducted at midnight, at 3 a.m., at 5 a.m. Every count must be logged, every inmate visually confirmed. On paper, the system is airtight. July 23, 2019. Epstein is found semi-conscious in his cell, marks on his neck. He had a cellmate at the time. The incident was described as a possible suicide attempt. He is placed on suicide watch. Suicide watch is strict. No bedding, no personal items, continuous monitoring, bright lights, observation. 6 days later, he is removed from suicide watch. Psychological evaluation clears him to return to 10 South. The decision would later be questioned. August 9th, his cellmate is transferred. He is alone. Bureau of Prisons guidelines recommended high-risk inmates not be housed alone. No replacement is assigned. 2 correctional officers are on duty. Both are working overtime. The facility is understaffed. According to later federal charges, midnight count, not performed. 3 a.m. count, not performed. 5 a.m. count, not performed. Records would later indicate they had been completed, but investigators alleged they were falsified. The cameras covering the tier were malfunctioning. Footage from the critical hours does not exist. At 6:30 a.m., he is found unresponsive. The New York City office of the chief medical examiner conducts the autopsy, the official ruling, suicide by hanging. Ligature suspension using bed sheets, fractures of the hyoid bone. Forensic experts note such fractures can occur in hangings, particularly in older individuals. Other pathologists debate publicly. The city maintains its conclusion. No homicide charges are filed. 2 correctional officers are later charged with falsifying records. They allegedly failed to conduct required counts. They later admit inaccuracies in documentation. In 2021, they enter a deferred prosecution agreement. Community service completed. Charges dismissed. The warden is reassigned. The Bureau of Prisons cites serious irregularities. No one is charged in connection with homicide. Epstein's death ends the federal prosecution. There is no trial, no cross-examination, no sworn testimony. Ghislaine Maxwell is later convicted and sentenced. Civil litigation continues. Victim compensation funds are established. But for many observers, the death reshaped the narrative, not because of what was proven, but because of what was never tested in court. Multiple investigations, including the FBI and DOJ Inspector General, conclude there is no evidence of homicide. They cite understaffing, overtime fatigue, broken cameras, protocol failures, a cascade of institutional weakness. Was it conspiracy or collapse? The official record states suicide, institutional failure, case closed. But public trust is not restored by paperwork. In 2008, a plea agreement altered the prosecution. In 2019, a death altered the narrative. The criminal case ended, but the institutional questions remain. Some files close in courtrooms, others close in silence. And sometimes, the silence echoes longer than the verdict. If you value long-form, fact-based investigative storytelling, subscribe to The Cold Files. We examine documented records, we follow timelines, we separate verified fact from speculation. If this episode raised questions for you, share your perspective respectfully below, and join us for the next file, because some cases end, but the story around them does not.